team in the world since 1987, and they're renowned for peaking. They actually peaked yesterday, we're hoping. It is. I want to ask you that question for the fact that you have consistently been the best team in the world. What is it that makes you a bit flaky at times?
We're not flaky. We're just
steady.
Chuck. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
I don't think we do. I think we, the World Cup is fantastic. It's more important now than what it's ever been. But as New Zealanders, our vision 120 years ago when we started was to be the best team in the world, and our goal was to win every game we play. And the World Cup came along, and that didn't really make a lot of difference. We wanted to win every game we could. Where other teams like Australia, they were prepared to lose games to make sure they had the right team for a World Cup year, which we never did. We did that in 07. Graham Henry, remember he had two teams, played once against you guys, and he built two teams basically. And as an ex-All Black, we were saying you can't do this rotation policy, is terrible for All Black rugby. And luckily, we got knocked out in the quarterfinals, so they got rid of that theory. We're now, we play the best team week in, week out, and even the team that will play on Sunday against Ireland will be a little bit different than the team that played yesterday, but it'll be good enough. They've got enough depth in the squad now to bring players through. So the World Cup is their focus for 2015. So they're trying to develop players now that will be ready for 2015. But we introduced players a lot younger than this kid Piatau who played on the wing is 21 years old. They think it's a very, very experienced All Black team, but it's not an old team. Sure, we've got Carter, Nialamu, Woodcock, McCaw, those sort of players who are 30 plus, but we also have Brodie Rattel, who I think is probably the second best player in the world at the moment, is 22 years old.
And you're saying the best is number 8?
Kieran Reid, without question, just
yeah.
phenomenal.
Yeah.
And I was just doing that thing on the radio, and they said, why are New Zealand players so good at the moment? I said, because they work hard. They work hard. A professional rugby player thinks a long day is 5 hours. These guys doing 8, 9, 10-hour days, preparing themselves, changing the way they play the game. He was 3 years ago, Kieran Reid was a good player. He wasn't world class, but he's now world class. Why? Because he works hard.
Can you give us an idea? What do you think of that team at the moment, this All Black team?
I think
What do they